Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a concept that's really starting to take shape all around us, the AI native. And look, this isn't just another buzzword about some new tech. It's a huge shift in how people, especially the next generation, are going to think, work, and create.
Okay, so this scene here, it might seem really simple, but it points to a massive shift. Did you catch it? The student isn't just saying, give me the answer. They're asking how to solve it. That's the key. We're moving away from a world where the goal is just to find information and into a world where it's all about collaborating with intelligence. So the new skill, it's not about finding the right answer anymore. It's about building the ability to create it yourself. So this new way of thinking, this new way of interacting with tech, well, it's creating something entirely new, a new kind of person. You could almost call it a new species in the digital ecosystem, the AI native. And I want to be clear, this isn't just about kids using the latest gadgets. We're talking about a fundamentally different way of being. All right, so what exactly do we mean when we say AI native? This definition is super important because it's not what you might think. It is not about just slapping some AI features onto a product that's already out there. No, it's about building something from the ground up that literally could not exist without AI. AI isn't just one ingredient in the dish, it's the whole recipe. And this comparison just nails the difference, right? On one side, you've got AI enabled. Think about Photoshop. It's been around forever. They added this amazing generative fill feature, but if you take that away, you still have Photoshop. It's a powerful add-on for sure, but it's not the core. Now, look at the other side, AI native. Think of something like Midjourney. If you take the AI out of Midjourney, what's left? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. The entire business, the entire product, just vanishes. It's the difference between bolting a jet engine onto your car and actually being born with wings. And that's why these AI native systems just feel different, you know? They feel almost alive. They're not static pieces of software. They're constantly learning, constantly improving with every single thing you do. Intelligence isn't some button you click, it's woven into the very fabric of the experience. And everything is driven by real-time data, not some old, rigid set of rules someone programmed years ago. Okay, this chart really puts the whole evolution into perspective. I mean, we just got our heads around the digital native, right? The generation whose superpower was finding information, they were masters of search, but the AI native? Totally different ballgame. Their core skill isn't finding stuff, it's generating brand new solutions. They're not just using tools anymore, they're co-creating with an intelligent partner. That is a massive, massive shift from just consuming information to actually creating new knowledge. So the big question is, why is all this happening now? What's the big technological earthquake that's causing the shift? Well, it all comes down to a fundamental change in how software itself is built. I mean, the very language we use to talk to our computers is being completely rewritten as we speak. Let's break down this evolution. First, you had Software 1.0. This was the age of command. Humans, programmers, wrote explicit, line-by-line instructions. Do this, then do that. The machine just followed orders. Then things got interesting with Software 2.0. This was the age of learning. We stopped writing the rules. Instead, we fed a neural network mountains of data and said, here, you figure out the rules. And now we're in Software 3.0, the age of conversation. We don't even have to write code or meticulously label data. We just talk to it. We state what we want in plain English, and the AI does the rest. And this quote from Andrej Karpathy, who used to head up AI at Tesla, man, it just perfectly captures this moment. The hottest new programming language is English. Think about that for a second. The barrier to building something amazing isn't whether you know Python or Java anymore. It's about how clearly you can express your ideas. Your thoughts spoken in plain language, that's the new code. And here's another way to think about it, which is pretty wild. These huge large language models like GPT-4, they're basically becoming the new operating system for everything. It's kind of like we're going back to the old days of giant mainframes. You've got a few big companies running these massive AI brains in the cloud, and all our apps are just becoming thin clients that tap into that centralized intelligence to get their smarts. All right, so this isn't just changing things for individuals. This shift is forcing a complete rewiring of how entire companies have to operate and compete. If you want to survive in this new world, you have to become AI native too. And what does that mean for business? Well, it completely flips the old model on its head. An AI native company isn't trying to sell you a complicated tool that you have to spend weeks learning. No, they sell you the result. You're not buying the software anymore. You're buying the answer. You're buying the design. You're buying the solution. And the impact of this approach, it can be absolutely staggering. Just look at this number, 99%. What is that? That's the actual reduction in wildfire damage a utility company, PG&E, achieved. How? By using an AI native platform from Palantir that pulled in tons of different data sources, weather patterns, equipment status, vegetation growth, all to predict and stop failures before they could cause a fire. See, that's the difference. The company wasn't just buying software, they were buying safety. They were buying that 99% result. So naturally, this new world demands a totally new kind of leadership. The old model, the know-it-all boss who pretends to have all the answers, that's just not going to cut it anymore. That model is basically obsolete. The future belongs to the learn-it-all leader, the person who thrives on curiosity, who values asking the right questions over having the right answers. Their most important job is asking what if, and guiding their teams and their AI partners to find out. And it's not just leadership. It's the kind of people companies need too. We used to talk about I-shaped people, deep experts in one thing. Then it was T-shaped, an expert who could also collaborate across fields. But now, the ideal is becoming what some are calling M-shaped talent. So what's that? It means you need deep mastery in at least one area. You need to be multidisciplinary, so you can connect the dots between different fields. And then there's the third crucial pillar, mankind. We're talking about the skills that AI just can't replicate: empathy, ethical judgment, true creativity. Okay, so let's get to the question that's probably on everyone's mind. What does all this mean for our jobs, for our careers, for the future of society? The key here, and this is really important, is to stop thinking about replacement and start thinking about collaboration. The real question is, how do we learn to work with these powerful new intelligences? This brings us to a really powerful idea for the future of work, and it's called the centaur model. Yeah, like the mythical creature that's half human, half horse. The concept is simple but profound. The best performer at almost any complex task won't be a human alone, and it won't be an AI alone. It's going to be a seamless partnership between the two. Our human intuition, creativity, and strategy guiding the AI's insane ability to crunch data and see patterns. And hey, this isn't just some futuristic theory. It was actually proven, of all places, in the world of chess, decades ago. After chess champion Garry Kasparov famously lost to the supercomputer Deep Blue, he did something brilliant. He created a new kind of chess called advanced chess, where human-computer teams could play against each other. And you know who won? It wasn't the grandmasters with the most powerful supercomputers. The winners were average players who were just really, really good at collaborating with their AI partner. They knew how to get the most out of the machine. So what this tells us is that the future probably isn't about mass unemployment. It's about mass redeployment. Of course, jobs that are repetitive and routine, those are going to decline. But a whole new class of jobs is emerging, and they're all centered on either steering the AI, managing its ethical impact, or doing the creative and empathetic things that are uniquely human. It really boils down to a simple choice. In the future, you're either telling an AI what to do, or you're doing something an AI can't. So as we step into this new age, the challenge for every single one of us is to figure out how to become a better partner to these incredibly powerful new systems. We need to become those expert collaborators, like those chess players. Because, let's be real, AI isn't a question of if anymore. It's only a question of how we integrate it. It can be a tool, it can be a partner, it can even be a competitor. And ultimately, the role you decide to play, well, that's entirely up to you.